For someone who is already dealing with inflammation, stress, previous injuries or trauma, EMFs can be the quiet, invisible factor that keeps pain hanging around. With that in mind, it's interesting to take a step back and look at what has happened over the past century or so as each new electrical technology has been introduced and how that correlates with pain and other chronic conditions. I'm going to give you a very simplified tour through history, just picking out a few key moments. In the late 1800s, when electrification began, people started having electric lighting in their homes and cities for the first time. Electrical tram systems appeared, factories used more electric machinery, and at the same time, we see the first recorded rises in conditions that involve inflammation and nervous system problems. Heart disease, cancer, and some neurological conditions start to show up more in the statistics. People report fatigue and strange nervous system symptoms that had not been widely described before. We cannot say that electricity alone caused those problems, but industrialization brought pollution, changes in diet, shifts in work patterns, and new stresses. But it's interesting that as the electrical environment of daily life changed, so did patterns of illness. During the First World War, around 1917 and 1918, powerful radio transmitters were rolled out across the world, including naval stations, military communications, and early broadcasting networks. Humanity had never experienced that level of radio frequency exposure before. Right on the back of that, we see the famous 1918 influenza pandemic with unusual neurological features and enormous global impact. I'm not saying radio waves caused the flu, but again, a large sudden change in the electromagnetic environment coincides with a wave of inflammatory and immune-related illness. Some, like Daniel Reuters, also link biochemical warfare, and in particular mustard gas, to the symptoms of Spanish flu, which was strangely not flu-like at all. After the Second World War, radar systems and television broadcasting became widespread. In the 1950s, TVs appeared in living rooms, radar surrounded coasts and airports, and many people started to work and live in dense broadcast fields. Around this time, we see big increases in what people often call diseases of civilization. Heart disease, certain cancers, arthritis, autoimmune diagnoses, and more chronic pain syndromes. Then we move into the era of early computers and fluorescent office lighting from the 1970s through to the 1990s. Office workers in some buildings started to complain of what they called sick building syndrome, headaches, fatigue, muscle pain, brain fog, poor sleep, vague aches that did not fit neat diagnoses. These buildings had a lot of electrical equipment and lighting that generated dirty electricity and high EMFs. By the 1990s and 2000s, mobile phones became mainstream. People began to carry them all day. Around the same time, we see a sharp rise in neck pain, shoulder pain, migraines, non-specific musculoskeletal pain, and sleep disorders. Again, many other things were changing. Posture, screen time, stress, EMFs were increasing dramatically too. From roughly 2007 onwards, Wi-Fi routers, smartphones, and Bluetooth devices became normal. Wi-Fi moved into virtually every home, school, office, and cafe. People began sleeping next to phones, wearing Bluetooth, and living in a constant wireless environment. Over this period, chronic pain, fatigue, anxiety, insomnia, and inflammatory conditions surged worldwide. And now, in the 5G and smart era, we have multiple devices on and around us all the time. Smartwatches, smart meters, smart home systems, smart cars. Many of these run continuously without us even thinking about it. and we are seeing the highest levels of chronic pain ever recorded. It's affecting children, teenagers, adults, and older people. None of this proves that EMFs cause these problems. Correlation does not mean causation. But when you understand the mechanisms, oxidative stress, inflammation, nervous system activation, and mitochondrial stress, it is very plausible that EMFs are one of several major contributors to the modern pain epidemic. If this sparks something for you, there's a much deeper conversation in the full episode. You can watch it here on YouTube or on Spotify, or listen on Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, and stay connected for more.